Hi guys, this is Swara presents Beyond the Boundary powered by Wahey. Today in this episode we have South Africa opening batter Tazmin Brits with us. Let's welcome her to the show. Let's go back to the beginning. How did you start playing cricket?
Yeah, so I played cricket in primary school and in high school, but javelin, of course, was my first love. I did very well in that, but I had to choose a sport. When you get older, you can't do both of them. You had to go into one, so I chose javelin. As you know, I won world champs at a very young age. Yeah, and then I had a massive car accident. I broke my pelvis in 4 places and burst everything, and I almost thought my whole entire sporting career was going to be done, and I lived for sports at that moment. So yeah, and then I was actually sitting in a bar, and funny enough, and a guy came to me and he said to me, "Listen, yeah, he heard I could play cricket." And I was like, "Yeah, a bit, but I don't have any kit or equipment. I gave that away." He's like, "No, just rock up with your tackies." And yeah, from there I started played a bit of club, played for Northwest, started making some runs. I was actually, before my car accident, I was actually a seam bowler. I'd like to think I was nice and quick. But yeah, and then I started playing for Northwest, made some runs, got the call up to the emerging team. And yeah, from there, 2018, I made my debut. And I'm sitting here at the age of 32.
Yeah. So, how did you feel about taking up cricket? You had to give up on your Olympic aspirations, and how did you feel about taking up cricket back then, and how do you feel now?
Yeah, it's got its positive and its negative. The thing I liked about javelin is it's you and yourself. So if you don't go train and if you don't put all the hard work in, you only have yourself to blame. Where cricket is a bit of a team sport, so you kind of rely on the other 10 or 11 players in the team. But once again, when you are alone and it's not your day, it's now positive because you've got your players and your teammates that actually support you, and they maybe do good that day. So yeah, it's got positives and negatives, but I'm just glad I'm still in sports. I mean, sometimes I think to myself, I probably would have tried rugby, or would have tried golf, or would have tried something, but as long as I stay, I feel God gave me a talent, and yeah, as long as I use my talents, I don't care what sport it is. But yeah, so far cricket's been well.
When we did an interview with your mom, she talked about you being the golden girl of CricZone. And how do you look at it? And are you still the golden girl of CricZone?
Well, I've actually moved. I don't stay in Clarkston anymore. I've actually moved to the seaside in George. But I would still think I've got a soft spot for them, or I've in their hearts as well. So yeah, my mom is very proud of me. So of course I'll always be the golden girl. I don't care where it is. But yeah, no, Clarkston will always remain. I think I am. But the biggest thing is the person must always remain humble in that situation. You don't want to be bigger than the game. So yeah, but I get a lot of support even till today. If I post something, you got all those Clarkston people always commenting and liking. So yeah, hopefully I am still the golden girl.
So your mom also talked about the secret behind your name. So we already know the story, but for the fans, can you talk about the secret behind your name?
Yes, you should be telling me what it is, because yeah, apparently there were 3 names. It was Lindsay, Storm, and Tasman, and yeah, it became a Tasmanian devil thing. I don't know if you guys remember the cartoon character.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a bit of a feisty character, but the older you get, you learn to calm down. But yeah, so I think that's more or less the story. I think there are probably other stories that my mom tells everyone, but when I was younger, I used to be called Tasmanian devil. So yeah.
I don't know if you can talk about this. You were very close to your dad, and you talked about how devastating was it to lose him. So how do you cope with it, and what helped you overcome it?
Yeah, so it was very difficult. My dad was not ill or anything. My dad was pretty healthy, but with COVID that hit, my dad unfortunately got COVID, and I was actually in India. When they said to me I need to fly back, it's not going well, and then all of a sudden it went well again. It was very difficult. I mean, in a different country, and you are thousands of miles away, knowing that your father's not well, it was extremely difficult. So yeah, then I got the call, and my mom unfortunately told me that my father passed and I had to fly back. It was very unexpected, but that's unfortunately things in life. We've got to get through that. That's why I've got the ballerina. I don't know if you guys have seen the ballerina, the pose that I do when I get a 50 or 100. That's a contribution towards my father. So yeah, me and him were best mates, but luckily I know he's still looking down as long as I'm making him proud at the end of the day, then that's all good.
Hopefully, you will keep making him proud.
Hopefully, more ballerinas to come.
Considering all these challenges you had, that accident and you had to give up on javelin and the personal challenges, so does that help you face the challenges that are on the cricket field?
Yeah, no, I think at the end of the day, that builds character. I mean, you yourself probably know in life, nothing's easy and life isn't very fair. But we get dealt with things, and the quicker we can change the situation and the quicker we can stand up to that, at the end of the day, we're only going to be better. We can't write down on a piece of paper how your life should be. God plans that out for you, and sometimes, like I said, there's obstacles. But yeah, I think learning, losing, whether it's my father or, my brother, like a lot of people also don't know, he was in a drug rehab. So we had to go through that as a family as well. So yeah, there's a lot of things. But once again, we're blessed to be here, and I'm thankful to be here. And you got to take the day as it comes, day by day, and just keep moving forward.
Yeah. So what helps you unwind away from cricket? What are the things you like to do when you are not playing cricket?
Yeah, so I actually have a bit of a soft heart for farming. I used to have some goats and cattle and sheep when I was younger. I actually just sold all my cattle recently because I moved to George, so it was difficult to look after them. I love golf. I used to be a massive golfer. I actually went to the World Champs longest drive in Vegas a few years ago. So I love playing golf. But yeah, otherwise just with friends and braaiing and, you try not to think about cricket, but cricket's like in your veins. So you still watch like the Men's World Cup coming up, you still watch it around a braai. But yeah, basically being with friends and just like trying to get away from cricket a bit.
So far, looking back at your cricketing career so far, what would you say to you, young Tazmin?
Yeah, I would have said to myself, you should have maybe started bowling again and become an all-rounder because it's difficult to, when you're on the field and you're only a fielder. I try my best when it comes to fielding. I throw myself around, but sometimes you want to be like, Skip, throw me the ball. I want to come running in there like a shibby and bowling some bounces. You want to contribute. So I think I would have probably become an all-rounder. Not that it's too late. I think there might be like some offies coming soon in the next year, hopefully. But yeah, I would have just said, just keep going. At the end of the day, what's meant to be will be, and just keep working. I've noticed when you work for things, even if you have dips, I mean, cricket is funny, you're up and down, but when you're up, and then you got to make sure you cash in. So yeah, you mustn't sit back. If you sit back and sit in a corner, then nothing's going to come to you. You got to create the opportunity. That's why they always say, luck doesn't find you, you find luck. So yeah, that's what I would probably do.
Yeah, talking of fielding, you had that great day at the semi-final again. You had that great fielding day as well. So let me end with this final question. What are the immediate goals for Tazmin Brits, the cricketer?
The immediate goals. So yeah, I think I'm currently ranked 10th in the world with the T20. I'd like to remain in the top 10. So that's definitely on my list. And then I want to improve my ODIs. I want to start. I haven't scored a half a century at all. My highest score, I think, is 48 in the ODI.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to do that and just to change my game when it comes to that. Fielding wise, I would still want to be the best fielder in the world, like a John T. Rhodes for South Africa. And then, like I said to you, hopefully that off spin comes in soon.
Yeah,
maybe
hopefully.
in 6 months to a year. Then it'll be called the all-rounder. So yeah, hopefully I can add that to it.
Yeah, keep bowling those offies. That was South Africa opener Tazmin Brits in this episode of Swara Presents Beyond the Boundary, powered by Wahey. Keep following this space for more interviews and news from the world of women's cricket.